Hello, my Gemini friends. Welcome to your love reading here on Daily Divine Guidance. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs. My friends, I ask that you please read the disclaimer in the description box below, as well as the prayer we would say during the reading. I now say it before your readings. Okay, Gemini, this is going to be a projection of energies over the next 4 weeks. However, with time being fluid, you may see some lessons or relationships of the past, things that the divine is wanting to remind you of, that either you have grown from these situations and you can apply these lessons, or you still need to heal from them. Some of the energies can be projecting beyond 28 days as well. So this isn't a dead set 4 weeks, but it is what the divine wants you to be aware of at this time, okay? Energies involving intimate romantic relationships over the next 4 weeks. What does Gemini need to know at this time? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs. If we could get 4 cards, please, to start for Gemini. 4 cards for Gemini. Ooh, okay. Okay, we're going to put these 3 back, although Judgment feels like it's meant to be there. So we're going to take Judgment and get 1 more card for you. And there it is. Gemini. Okay, you have the King of Cups, King of Swords, Judgment, and the 3 of Pentacles. Gemini, somebody's not being honest with you. It almost feels like somebody's really emotionally manipulating you without you knowing it, or maybe you do realize it. I don't know, but there's some sort of emotional, Jesus, I even hear the word attack. Like there's something, somebody is, I just feel that somebody's not being honest with you, and you can't read this. Like, you're not reading this at all. You're not seeing the dishonesty here, or maybe you are now. Maybe there's some red flags that have been coming up, and you've just been like, no, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's not good either. You have the King of Cups here, and the King of Cups is a very emotionally balanced king, very compassionate, very loyal and loving and kind, and very diplomatic, okay? And then you have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is the honest, clear communicator. This is the truthful king, the wise king, intellect here, right? Your energy, air energy there with the King of Swords, water energy with the King of Cups. But because Judgment is following this, I really feel like what you are receiving is not the truth. Let me get a clarifier really quickly for that King of Swords. Yeah, somebody is really not being honest with you, and I think it's going to come to a point where it's going to feel like everything falls apart almost. You have the Tower clarifying the King of Swords, and the Tower card it's chaotic, okay? It's everything kind of falling apart. It's that card of like, why is this happening to me? But the real question that the Tower offers you is, why is this happening for me? Okay, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. The Tower is the card of sudden change. So you may be attached to someone that's going to quickly change their mind because they haven't been truthful from the start or something. Do you see what I'm saying? It's going to resonate differently for each of you, but there's definitely a Tower moment that has happened or is happening around a person that you are attached to or were attached to. And there's not a whole lot of truth. And it's maybe not even that it's not a lot of truth, but you know, there can be some eliminations from the whole truth. Like you can say, I had a donut today, and not say you bought a whole, dozen of donuts and you're hiding them because you don't want anybody else to eat your donuts. That kind of thing. Elimination of truth is still misleading. And so that could be the situation here too. It may not be that somebody's completely lying to you, but they could be eliminating some of the truth here. But you have judgment. And this is telling us, okay, judgment tells us that there is rebirth. This is the phoenix rising from the ashes. So I feel that what's going to happen is everything falls apart. Everything is falling apart, or it has fallen apart. But that's so it can rebuild anew, okay? The tower, right? You can't build a tower on top of your tower. That initial tower has to fall. It has to be destroyed so that you can build a newer, better tower for yourself. One more suited for you and your present state of mind, or your present place, your present space. And with judgment, you're going to experience that. So this could be that whatever miscommunication, whatever truths are not being revealed, whatever has been like you've been misled, whatever red flags, it could be that this is cleared up for you, and that you move forward with the partner that we're thinking about here, or it could be that you move away from them, right? Again, it's going to resonate differently for everyone. Some of you may be working on a relationship and having a rebirth with this connection, and others may be letting it fall to the ground so that you can build anew and have a rebirth within yourself and have some healing for yourself, okay? But this is rebirth, this is absolution, this is clarity. It's really listening to your intuition and your divine self and going with whatever flow it's requesting you to go in. You're really kind of just aligning yourself. And whether, again, it's you with a partner or you within yourself, there is alignment happening here. And you have the Three of Pentacles. And this is why I think a lot of you will reconcile or heal the connection that you have. Maybe even come back to a person or something, because the Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork and collaboration. And I feel that once you guys express, you get this all out on the table, you figure it out, you talk about it, whatever, it's going to create this very, it's going to create this much needed healing between you and your person and the connection, to where you're going to be able to move forward as a team. You're going to work well together. You're going to be honest with one another. You're not going to question whether there's dishonesty or dissatisfaction or misled truths, if you will. Everything's going to kind of come into place. You're going to fall into place and you're going to work well together. It's actually really cool. It looks like, Gemini, y'all need to have a talk. If you're connected with someone, it looks like you need to have a talk. If you've recently separated from someone, and listen, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. You are the designer of your destiny, my Gemini friends. But it does look like some communication should be had here, okay? Let's get 3 more cards, please, for Gemini. What else does Gemini need to be aware of? 2 more cards. 1 more card, please, for Gemini. Thank you. Yeah, see? Okay, Gemini. Come on now. Wow. There is a lot of fear wrapped up here in speaking your truth, in listening. I almost feel like we just talked about how you will move forward in a very cooperative kind of way for many of you. But it's like, as soon as I said that, you get these cards of fears, entrapment, and worry and struggle and conflict, okay? You have 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords, and 5 of Swords, all your energy. Is it you that's not being honest, Gemini? Are you the one that's being deceitful here? I don't think so. But some of you might resonate with that. Some of you may be not revealing the whole truth to your partner. I don't know. 9 of Swords is a card of fear and worry and anxiety. And you can see that she's very upset because she fears that these crows are going to come down and attack her, right? Even though you can see there's one spirit crow up there with the divine light coming in and saying, hey guys, no attacking her. Those black crows are her thoughts and fears, her anxieties, her worries. They're like, no, we're not going to attack her, but we're still here and she can still see us and feel us. And the divine is kind of trying to come in and say, look, you need to go. It's time to go, whatever. But you're just focused on this fear, this worry. I mean, it could, some of you may be even having nightmares or bad dreams about it, or repetitive thoughts, right? That circle thinking. So it's definitely, this is a situation that's really bothering you. And I feel like some of you are afraid to talk with this 8 of Swords, self-imprisonment, right? Victim mentality. You're afraid to talk here. You can see that she clearly is not bound, right? She's not bound, but when she looks in the mirror, she sees herself bound. She sees that she is trapped. But she's done that to herself with her own worries, her own fears, her own anxieties. She has kept herself trapped. Gender not specific. We're just going by the images on the cards. And I feel like this is because you're afraid of what could be the outcome, what could be the result. The five of Swords is about conflict and disagreements. This is about kind of like that winning at all costs type of energy. 5 of Swords here is very representative of those arguments that are like screaming matches, and you feel so defensive and you have to get your point across, but you feel like you're not being heard, and it hurts your head because no matter what you say, the other person is just not listening, or you feel like they're not listening because they have their own opinion. It's kind of that energy. It's a very negative, very in this reading, it feels very aggressive. So I feel that you're afraid of this coming in. Like you don't want to talk. You don't want to express your feelings. Even though we see cooperation happening here, even though we see rebirth and forward movement, whether that's with yourself or others, maybe the fear here is that you're going to lose a person that you think is meant to be, you're meant to be. Can we get a clarifier for these 3 cards, please? Thank you. Oh. Well, here you go. You have 2 King of Swords now. The truth shall set you free, okay? The truth needs to be expressed. Don't go at it with, if you decide that this is something you do need to do or whatnot, right? Again, you're the designer of your destiny. You get to do what you want with your life. But if you decide that this is something that you need to do, make sure you approach this when you are mentally clear, when you've thought out everything that you need to say, when you I mean, hell, even write it down. I'm an advocate for writing or voice noting things, because that way you don't forget. You are clear in what you need to say, and you can say it in a way that you won't go back later and go, God, I wish I would have remembered to say that, or blah, blah, blah. But you definitely want to be clear in your communication here. You have the Magician and Temperance. There has to be balance here in order to relieve these fears. To relieve the anxiety and the fear and the worry and the upset, you have to bring balance and order to this connection. In order to do that, you have to communicate, okay? And your person has to communicate as well. There needs to be clear communication here. The Magician clearly tells us that you have the power to make this work however you want it to work, or whatever you want will be yours. The Magician is the resourceful one. This is the person that has everything that they need. They manifest clearly what they desire. They do not manifest backward. They manifest things that they desire, not what they do not desire, okay? You have the ability here to make this happen, but you may need some time to clear your mind, come to a space of neutrality, of stability, of basically clarity, so that you can express. And even I feel like it'll be a sense of relief to have this conversation. Now, I'm not saying it'll be all peaches and cream all the time, every time, right? Each and every one of you are going to experience something different, but this conversation, this need for communication is big right now. Definite communication issues happening here. And a great fear of what's to come if communication is clearly expressed. But I don't feel that you have much to worry about, Gemini, because that Three of Pentacles talks about collaboration and teamwork. Things will move forward in a healthier manner. Don't allow your fears and your worries to override what you deserve, what your partnership, what you want your partnership to be. I mean, who wouldn't be afraid to speak up and say something to their partner? There's always a fear of what could happen, the what ifs, right? But I feel the what ifs here would actually be resolved for many of you. And if it means that you move forward and away from one another, there's someone that wants to work with you as a team. They want to be a partner, an equal partner in this. Saw equal partnership in Taurus's reading as well. So that's a forward moving energy, moving from sign to sign here. Can we get a couple of cards here? 3 cards. 2 more cards, please. That's, whoop. There it is. I really feel like some of you are dealing with someone who's being dishonest, and that it's time to move forward in the connection or away from it. Forward and away, or forward healing. Can we get one more card, please? Thank you. Okay, Gemini, you have keep an open mind, pay attention to the red flags, and let go of control issues. 100%. Keep an open mind, and this is an indicator of clear communication here. Make sure that you are listening as you are talking. Don't just do all the talking and not listen to your partner. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So this could be a person that you're dealing with that is not actually a soulmate connection. And maybe that's why there's so much conflict, is you're ready now to move forward and find your soulmate. You have pay attention to red flags. We talked about this. There is some sort of dishonesty or miscommunication, excuse me, in this connection that needs to be resolved. And then you have let go of control issues. And this one is a tough one for everyone, no matter what your sign, age, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, let go of control issues is tough. Divine timing is at hand here. So if you're finding yourself having communication issues because you want things to move faster or they're moving too fast, etc., let that go. Divine timing is at work. Things are going to happen when they're meant to happen. Just keep manifesting in a positive way. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. It is happening for you and in your favor, Gemini. Okay? My friends, I hope this resonated well with you. If it did, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Helps us get the message out to more of our Gemini friends. I'll be back next week with your finance reading, so stay tuned for that. Also, we missed last Friday's live reading, but we will be doing it this Friday. So if you have a question you would like answered with 3 cards, go ahead and email it to me, dailydivineguidance@gmail.com. I'll be live at 5 p.m. on Friday, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful week ahead. Bye, everybody.